You know, he wanted so badly, whether he'd admit it or not, for me to have success, I think, because he stuck his neck out for me.
Now on Local 5, for the first time we hear from Aaron Rodgers on the passing of the man who brought him to the Green Bay Packers. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McCormack. Tom Zaleski has the night off. So finally, this Sunday, quarterback Aaron Rodgers gets the NFC title game at Lambeau, a place he never thought he'd wind up after interviewing with Ted Thompson. During a virtual media briefing today, Rodgers spoke at length about the former general manager who passed away this week at the age of 68. Thompson battled a nerve disorder in his final years. Rodgers says the interview process was grueling, but he always appreciated that Thompson gave him a shot.
I enjoyed our relationship. I really did. I think we had a special relationship, as special as you can have with Ted, because Ted was a very private person. But I always enjoyed our conversations, and you know, you kind of shook his hand at times, you know, whether you saw him in the cafeteria or coming out of the team room or after a game, and you just kind of knew what that meant. You know, he was a man of few words. When he spoke, it was powerful.
To honor his legacy, the Packers will install Ted Thompson's name on the Lambeau Field facade before next season. Now to the Packers' message to fans both inside and outside of Lambeau: put a mask on. For the 6,500 season ticket holders who scored tickets, they are bound by all codes of conduct, and that includes wearing a mask and keeping socially distant. And the team's public affairs director also made a point of asking fans who didn't get tickets to still follow COVID protocol.
Our message for people watching away from the stadium is the same as it's been all year. Please do it in the proper way. You know, our health experts have given us guidelines that we should all follow to help stop the spread, and we would just remind people of that.
Green Bay Police and the Brown County Tavern League are reminding bar owners that they have to enforce coronavirus protocols. This after social media posts showed otherwise last weekend. He was an Eau Claire Bear, a Milwaukee Brave and Brewer, and an Atlanta Brave. Tonight we remember baseball legend Hank Aaron. Brewers fans laid flowers at the Hank Aaron statue outside of American Family Field in Milwaukee. The home run king broke Babe Ruth's career home run record in 1974 and retired as Major League Baseball's home run leader with 755 career home runs.
He was a very gifted athlete, but he was an even better person. You know, he came from humble beginnings, and he dealt with a lot of racism coming up through the minor leagues, and it never affected how he treated people.
The statue was unveiled in 2001, the year the ballpark opened, as a reminder of the man who broke baseball's all-time home run record. New at 10 tonight. Republican congressmen from Wisconsin are lining up against one of the first executive orders of the new president. Glenn Grothman, among those who gathered in Franksville after President Biden signed an order killing the Keystone XL pipeline. Grothman calls it a job killer and a slap in the face for our trading ally, Canada.
Amateur night at the White House, I'll tell you that. I don't know who he's getting his ideas from. I thought I was at that speech the other day. I thought maybe Lady Gaga thought this would be a good idea.
President Biden's rejection of the pipeline falls in line with his mission of developing clean energy solutions and signals that his administration is turning America away from what's called dirty fossil fuels. Now, part of the Republican strategy is to create a groundswell of support from the community. Representative Mike Gallagher met with a local chapter of the United Association of Plumbers and Pipe Fitters in Kaukauna. He says after a divided election, this would be one way to come together to support working families.
We need to do everything we can to support good-paying jobs. Those are union jobs. The company building the pipeline vowed to have it all union labor, and so that's why I just want to urge the Biden administration to reconsider this position, reconsider killing the Keystone Pipeline project.
Gallagher acknowledged the environmental impact of the pipeline, but says this is the cleanest way to transport crude oil. Other local stories we're following tonight: a milestone for ThedaCare, which administered the COVID-19 vaccine to the first patients in Phase 1B. Adults 65 and older are now eligible, and there are more than 700,000 Wisconsinites in this category. And vaccinating everyone will largely be dependent on the supply from the federal government. In new developments tonight, the teenager charged with fatally shooting protesters in Kenosha has been ordered not to drink. The Kenosha County District Attorney modified the bail of Kyle Rittenhouse after the 18-year-old was photographed in a bar with his mother and taking photos with supporters after his arrest. Rittenhouse must also not associate with any person or group that is known to harm or harass. Activists take to the streets of Green Bay tonight. Coming up, how they're marking an historic and controversial time in our country. And meet the local Marine who never thought he'd make it out alive in this week's Hometown Hero.